We go around the tiptoe across the tape.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up?
I feel like I'm gonna step in.
What's up? Out here it's like 80 degrees in Grand Junction, Colorado. How y'all feel? I ain't see y'all in a minute, so I'm gonna play some music while I'm playing. Just relaxing, man. How y'all feeling? Hopefully y'all doing good, man. Hey, sing this shit. Girl, I wanna make sweet love to you. I don't know. How y'all feeling today?
Just like
Oh yeah, gotta love the mood. Sorry about that. I gotta go back to my music. Come on, put your big flex on. Hey, there you go, big flex. The drink of the night. Feel good, man. Nice sunny day out. So if you're looking to the sun more. How's y'all week been? How's y'all day been? How the weekend been for y'all? Out here making plans, making certifications. Better improve. Who we got in the building? We got the Macho Man, the Longo Savage. Yeah. We got YJK. Hey, what's up, bro? They're always faithful, F Holiday. Got the Bishop Mac Bone. Feel good. No, we got to play one of my favorite songs of all time. Feels good. What happens when you feel like you accomplished some things, man? By the way, go Ravens. There you go. How y'all feeling, man? Don't you feel good when black men accomplish something, man? It's so funny, right? That we're in the corporate security phase of the training that a lot of people don't appreciate. Like, dude, there are chief security officers of Fortune 50 companies. I mean, companies that make billions in months, not years, in months. And a lot, some of these guys don't appreciate the fact who they speaking to. What's the news, Mac Bones? How you feeling? It's funny because have you ever noticed when you go out there to set forth your dreams, your admirations, there's not a lot of people who will actually come out there and support. Thank God for people like y'all, man, and the friends and families that I do associate with that supported me. Because a nigga be all by himself. Speaking of one of the faithful, Philip D. Redden Jr. Whoo, alaikum salam, my brother. Assalamu alaikum to all the Muslim brothers. Greetings to all my Christians. Shalom to all my Hebrews. I love this part. Yeah, there we go. Get nasty with it. It feels good, man. I mean, Alonzo said, I'm still holding out, bro. That you get to play Cobra Bubbles when Disney does a live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. It's funny because too many guys who wrestle for me always made this joke about that guy, Experiment 626. The good weather. Got the good sun, man. Mm. Desmond Brown, what's up? It's it's funny nowadays. We got soft men trying to tell men what's masculine. Fuck out of here, man. In search of my mind, I got the facts. The reason I'm saying that I love the truth. And anything besides, realize that it should be about it. How y'all feel? It's funny, you know, checking up on the manosphere whenever I can. You know, there's so many people who talk about how we should have a centralized, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Leadership. We shouldn't, because that's the strength of the black manosphere. We don't have centralized leadership. It's a space where men can congregate, fellowship, and get some healing. I'm no better than anybody else, but nobody's better than me either. Another one of the faithfuls, man, Electrician 480, man. I got to give you and other faithfuls some flowers, man. Y'all been supporting this dude through good times, bad times, and anywhere in between, man. Appreciate you, fellas. And you ladies, too, because there are ladies who donate to my channel as well. Ladies, you who donate to my channel, you notice they don't have to hurt for a man. I don't even have to tell them what to do to get a man, because they probably already got it. We got to do the ceremony. It's cooking out here. Salute to my man. Salute to the support. And the amazing thing about it, I didn't even ask for cash app shit, or that's how the faithful few do. Whatever y'all want to talk about, I'm game. But guess what? The boy, when he get back home to Baltimore, I'm going to be working with other heads of security firms, and I'm going to come up with a doctrine for active shooters. And I'm going to try to vie for contracts for private schools to protect our babies. One of my goals is to revamp my security firms, and one of the major goals is to get more armed, qualified, trained officers protecting our children in these schools, especially the private schools who don't get a lot of the support the states give. What's up, D? What's up, Don? You know, when I come back home, you know it's gonna be a party, dude. How's the wife and kids, man? See, a lot of people don't know when there's a problem, you got to put a good man to solve it, man. Stir this up a little bit. Little cognac and coke never hurt nobody. I'm going to start, doing my leadership. And for my firm, I'm going to have a leadership that's going to be very paramilitaristic, where people are going to be having rank and file, and where I'm going to have a training. I want to push my boy Darren to go through his NRA training so he could be my training officer, where it takes a lot of shit off my neck. I want to take somebody who's the chief of, operations, who's the director of operations, so they could take things off my neck, because I want to go in and be the guy wearing suits and getting the contracts, and I want to put young black men to work. So that's true, Biggs, man, because a lot of stuff that I've been learning here, I'm going to implement a variation of it, where a lot of brothers are going to be looking to work. I want to be the answer to a lot of problems I see in my community. And then once I can show progression in Baltimore, I want to bring it around national. Matter of fact, we're going to start small. We're going to start with Baltimore. Then we're going to start with the DMV. Because my next big move, with all the support of my subscribers, my friends, and my family, I'm going to try to get my certificate, my licensing in Virginia. Then I want to get my licensing in DC. And I want to be the king of the DMV. That's my goal, is to be the king of the DMV. I want tier 2 and tier 1 units. People be like, what do you mean by that? And I had to speak to another good brother, a fellow ESI graduate from last year who started his program as well, his firm. I want a tier 2, where tier 2 means you're armed. But tier 1 guys, I want them to be able to do like heavy threats, active shooters, high risk, in places where, in Africa and the Middle East. I want tier 2s to take care of the active shooters in America, and the tier 1s to go abroad. Oh, the plans are in effect, because the first week when I come back home, maybe that first day I'm going to be asleep for like 12, 15 hours. But the rest of that week, we're going to party, man. And after we party, we're going to be planning. Because there's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of things I'm going to get out into this business, where family and friends, well, Darren, he's both family and friends. Shout out to Mr. Vernon for the king of the DMV, baby. You got that right, All-Star G. The HNIC of the DMV. I want the DMV to be so locked down with my security firm that active shooters are going to be taken care of very quickly. I don't want our babies to be in threat of getting a good education. That's called the hero. That's called the sheepdog. And by the way, we don't believe in the sheepdogs over here. We're the lions. We're the king of the pride. Why do you think in Black Lion Security Firm, LLC, our motto is the pride of protection with the protection of the pride? I may be the king, but look who's behind me. I got a whole pride behind me. And when you can establish black men, no, that's all good, man. And shout out to my boy Biggs, man. Got to put this up for you. Shout out to my boy Biggs.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond! Plus!
Shout out to Big supporting the channel, man. That's not just one of my best friends. That's one of my brothers for almost 25 years, man. We go back, shit, longer than 25 years, my dude. Probably 26. See, one thing I tell you, you can buy a lot of things in this world, but you can't buy family, you can't buy friends, and you can't buy loyalty. Trust me. I can't wait till he gets all his certs because I'm going to just make him my director of training. Take a big load off of my ass. Trust me, the DMV is mine. One of the dudes who's one of my mentors for a security firm, he said, look, all you got to do is be a jack of all trades, solve it all, find your niche. If your niche is the guy who can solve it all, or if you can have different people, you get that niche. Have a geographical location and network. But be aware, it is a cutthroat world when it has to be. That's why I want the DMV. I want to be able to send young black men to Colorado and get this training. A lot of people be like, like a Mary Brown. Oh, you got to go fund me. How much of my money went into my business? My first business venture, I paid people what? I paid people $50 an hour my first business venture just to try it out and see how it goes. And it went splendidly. Yeah, I know. No cap, bro. When I get back, we're going to be doing handgun shots from the 25 like we did here. We're going to do more 15-yard and 25-yard shots, and we're going to be on it. Then I'm going to go back into my old school rifle and shotgun training. I need you to do me one favor, Darren. Go to the where your daughter goes to school. Ask them what their security protocols are, and if they don't have any or if they're shaky on it, give them my number, and we'll help them with it because I got a lot of mentors in the business who's going to show me and teach me how to make a protocol and an SOP for active shooter for schools and how to keep our babies safe. Because I think for especially if you went to private schools, and it's funny because we're gonna go back to the Nashville shooter. We're gonna go to the Nashville shooter. There's a reason why that transgender, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that woman who thought she was a man, targeted that school because she knew that the other target she had was too fucking secure. And shout out to those two cops. I don't care if they're white. I don't care if they're black. Those two cops are heroes in my book. That if I could take a video of showing you what you need to do during an active shooter, that was quintessential textbook material. So let me know about your daughter's school, and we'll start from there, and we'll start up an SOP, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Because if I get protective agents and armed security officers at the school, the threat is going to go significantly low. You're right, Darren. Soft targets. I don't believe in soft targets. Don't believe in that. If you notice one thing about me, I don't believe in being a victim. I believe in seeing the problem for what you have and what it is and solving it. That's what I'm talking about. I want any of you who have kids, tell me, go to your school principal, go to your administration and ask them their security protocols. And if they don't have any, whatever state you're in, let me know what you need to get a security agency license in that state for armed, and Black Line Security will be there. Slowly but surely, we'll be there. Hell, with the support of all you, we'll be there even quicker. But at the same time, we got to say no to this victimhood shit. Alan Stranger said that could get nationwide positive attention. It should, but it's a damn shame we protect our money more than we protect our children, right? But they call guys like me a bunch of fear mongering, gun loving, violence inducing people. If you notice one thing about guys that I said here, all the guys out of 30 people, all the guys who went to combat, we're the most laid back group of guys you'll ever meet. And I'm telling you, if you have issues with security and your kids go to a public school or maybe even a private school that doesn't have school police or a resource officer, ask them what is their protocol when it comes to active shooter or violence in the school. And when you tell them, give them my name, let me know what it takes to get licensing in your state or in your region, and let's go. Children should never be in fear. How y'all doing? Doing all right. Shout out to the master teacher in the building. They don't want their manifesto to go worldwide. I don't want a mass shooting like never, but if we're an armed citizen, we can stop the threat if they let us naturally let nature take its course. Well, that's true. See, the problem is that people don't like to look at reality anymore, folks. And when you look at reality, that dictates a lot. That shit dictates a lot. But that's the first plan. I want to be able to have a bunch of guys who can know how to de-escalate a situation before any weapon is pulled. But I also want guys who are trained rifle, first aid, not even just first aid, tactical medicine, rifle, pistol. And in case, like, there's places like in Louisiana and Florida, when they have a natural disaster, as long as you have certification from an established security firm, you can legally work there. We can make good money and we can save lives at the same time. Why not do it? But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me. Like my man say, wait for it, George. Wait for it. If Biggs and BGS want to come up here, here's the link to the chat. Let's have a conversation about this. We're gonna get the master teacher and my brother up here, and we're gonna talk some good shit. I don't care what nobody say. The Japanese got some good ass guitar players, boy. I gotta hit that backwards again. By the way, Darren, might as well tell wifey now. We having a boys trip to BlurCon. We're gonna have fun. I'm talking to the CEO of BlurCon either tonight or tomorrow about some executive protection work.
Woohoo!
Well,
What he do?
you know me, styling and profiling. Let me read what you just text. It's sad that an active shooter drill has been added to the fire drills and weather drills, but 2A is frowned upon. I'm just saying. Well, this is what happens when you have people who don't live in reality. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear, bro.
And this is what happens when you got a bunch of people who think they know better than you. And unfortunately, there's some people who don't like to look at reality. And there's an old general. Matter of fact, the class we're getting taught now for corporate security management is by a retired lieutenant colonel. And even he quoted, sometimes to prepare for peace, you got to prepare for war.
Yeah, but isn't that one and the same? Think
Usually.
about what you just said. Isn't that one of the same? If you
Well,
really sit down and think about it, if you
but
want
there's a
peace,
reason why do you have a lock on your front door?
exactly of what I was going with it, bro. Say less.
I mean, as much as I would love to just sleep with my door open or unlocked or just a screen door, I cannot.
That's
For
grandma and that's
somebody.
nan and them type time, bro. That ain't our type time.
Mm-mm. Unfortunately, you're a father too. I'm a father of one. Reality dictates, my boy.
Yeah.
Reality dictates, and a lot of people don't like to go into that synopsis that reality has to dictate.
Hmm. I don't know if you realize the passage. I don't know where you quoted it from or whatever it was, but when we first met and we really chopped it up, I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm a conspiracy theorist," and he was like, "Well, the good someone from this book or this quote was like, if you're thinking about it, you're living in reality or something like that along the lines." This was way
You know what
back
the
in the day.
quote? You know what the quote you're thinking about? Does your beliefs outweigh your reality?
Yep, there you go. Hmm.
And guess what? I'll give up all my guns when everybody else give up theirs.
Cut it up.
Till then, I'll be well stocked and armed. That ain't Coca Cola in that cup either. Go Ravens. Lamar signed. Lamar signed. But on a serious note, one of those things I had to think about. What's mission number one is to get sufficient officers to make my unit a tier 2 unit. We're gonna make a tier 1 unit very soon after we make people tier 2. And one of the things I want is that a lot of people who have their children, especially in private schools, regardless if it's Catholic, Christian, or non-denominational, or just secular, who's protecting your kids, and how protected are your kids?
Yeah.
I got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
So
And
I was on another live, right?
mhm,
And it was a scenario. You drop your kid off at school, public, private,
yep,
and your kid comes home. And as your kid is coming through the door, you're getting a phone call.
I want you to think about that. All right, I want people to think about this as a parent. Excuse me. I want people to think about this as a parent. You hear gunshots ring off in that fucking school after you drop your kid off. Are you going in that building? And I want people to really realize this shit. Oh, we good. I'm just doing a live stream. Say what's up to my subscribers.
Oh, what's
We got
up?
my man Ian. Who are you, Navy?
Yeah, Navy up in
We
here.
got my man, fellow Army guy, Devontae. He's a good guy. He went to Fort Benning too. And it's like,
What's going on,
What's
and
up?
he's
Cap?
a good guy.
What's up, Big? What's
Everything.
up, Colonel? How you doing, Colonel
What's
Falk?
up? What's up?
You in Colorado
And
right now, Falk?
y'all probably have a little bit of introspective thought. What's your thought about this active shooter shit that's been popping up?
Hitting on it or what?
Yeah, both, nigga.
No, at first I thought it was.
Can't really take their guns. I mean,
Whatever you want to divulge about your background, let the subscribers know whatever you want to divulge.
oh, this is a live?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. So I'm a former drug dealer. Hailing from Chirac.
You know, a little bit of drugs.
Man,
Oh, sorry. Street
quick Cap.
pharmacist.
Come on, man. Straight up. Keep it a buck. This coming from Baltimore, man. You bullshit, baby. So,
And we
Hey.
got servicemen who did time in part of the sandbox. And we were talking about one of my things I'm going to do for my company is that I want to hit up a lot of these private schools who are basically soft targets, which would be ground zero for a lot of these fucking school shootings because most public schools have resource officers or school police like we have back home in Baltimore. And, you know, you're a combat vet like myself.
Which sounds like taking combat vets and giving jobs down the schools.
Why not?
I'm down with that.
And I'm willing to hire a couple of guys if I get the contracts to be like, look, we'll put Devontae's ass up on a roof. You see that motherfucker there? Shoot him in his ass.
and tell your main man to ignore the PJ's project thumbnail. That yeah, please or whatever. Please take it, kind of search or what the case may be. But I shoot the shit, but I just wish I could do this thumbnail up when I do my meetings and I eat. Like for real. It's not acceptable. But please share your input.
Like, please share your info, what you think. What's your opinions about about the active shooters and how to stop it?
Like you said, just better about jobs. Give them purpose.
And don't you think it's a goddamn shame a fucking veteran doesn't have a job? Number one.
Yeah.
That vetting process definitely got to be.
Yeah.
Definitely got to be.
Yeah, it's got to be on point because one, you don't want no pedophiles by your kids, and then two, you want people who, if shit cacks off, you want people to be better women of action. And I think that the Nashville, if I took a scenario out of all the active shooters I had to study as a police officer and as a CEO of a security firm and as a police sergeant, and I had to come with this shit. The best scenario I've ever seen in my life was the one in Nashville because they were on it. Yeah. And I remember, like, not telling my age, I remember when I was a junior in high school about Columbine. If you actually looked at the video of both Columbine and Virginia Tech, them police were armed to the fucking teeth.
That's only if I got like I'm not like different cops. That's only if I.
Shit, I do it all the time, but I'm a cop.
That's the issue I got with cops. Like they will want all this shit, like all this tactical shit and whatnot, and just be, we got suppressed M4s, we got tanks and MRAPs, we got fucking multi-cam with TAC helmets like that, and then when it's time to come to use it, they sit down there and wait.
Yeah, they tactical instead of
Yeah.
being tactical.
I was like, dude, like I'll run in there with the shit I got on right now with a fucking 22 and stop shooting. Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the three of us, if an active shooter came up here, you gave us sufficient weaponry. Hell, even you give us a couple of 9mm, we're taking that motherfucker out. And the point being is that a lot of people don't even understand what it means to be, you know, guarding the future. Think about it. When you see a bank, especially Bank of America, they got armed guards outside. But yet you go to your school, you looking like, wait a minute. Yeah. And I mean, we had 4 to 5 school police when I was in high school, maybe 2 to my son's high school. But I'm like, I remember the last big major school shooting we had. I carried my 300 blackout and I always have my Glock 22 40 caliber on my hip. And I was like, and I had my body armor. I'm just like, just in case I hear something I don't like, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Like, what if you don't make it? As long as he does, I don't give a fuck.
That sounds like the Dr. Faulkner I've come to know and love over the past 8 years.
Yeah, what's up, Snowman?
Hey, how you doing, Dr. Faulkner?
I'm doing all right, enjoying the beautiful weather up in this Grand Vista bitch.
I got you. I was told something today that's gonna make you laugh. Matter of fact, it should make this whole panel laugh. Given what I do for a living, I was told that a black man, in particular, this black man, as I point to myself, is not supposed to know baseball.
Shit. A black man who don't know sports, they make them niggas?
Hold on, I got a question for you, brother. That you just made that statement. You as black or brown as I am, what is the consensus of that statement that you made? Was it Mexicans or white people? Like, where the fuck did that come from, bro?
feel like your favorite drill song.
Biggs, none of the above.
Elaborate, please.
It came from a black person.
Well, you already know the history of black people. We hate on each other before anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why Asians, whites, Hispanics are growing leaps and bounds because shit, a lot of fucking Mexican motherfucker come out with some fucking trap music, man. Even if he sucks, everybody's gonna support him.
And you know the greatest part though? When he heard me do a sample call, his mouth fell to the floor and I walked off.
Wow.
I was told this today that, and Charles and I talked about this on one of the shows that we did together, that I'm not supposed to sound the way that I sound. I'm not supposed to know what I know.
I was making a joke. I was like, watch, all PFTCs like Brock and Badass, we got to go in corporate and fight all those guys.
Yeah. You gotta,
y'all just pissed off and everything. Yeah, it's like,
you gotta realize something, man. Is that when you're trying to do a goal, the more you're set to do that goal, the more you have your heart set on it, the more people are gonna shit upon it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know 2 professional baseball announcers right now that I've had on my show. Robert Ford, voice of the Astros, Dave Sims, television voice of the Mariners. And I've had them both on multiple times.
But the sad part about it is, once you become successful, you everybody's boy.
So can I ask you,
please say that again, please.
What's your name again, though, bro?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the snowman. I mean, you
gotta
think. You got to think of how many people. Just give me that corner. I mean, the more you try to go to accomplish some shit, is the more people are going to try to piss upon it.
Yeah.
I mean, like even now we having classes, right? And I'm
Yes.
talking to everybody here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, motherfuckers don't know that you got a lieutenant colonel teaching the class for corporate security management. That's a
Yeah.
very high ranking official. Can we agree? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Forgive us. The white guy with the and I'm retired lieutenant colonel. And you got the guys whining like they want to go to PSD. Y'all got
Mhm.
just as many PowerPoints as we fucking do.
Right.
And here's the crazy part, right? You're talking on the computer to guys who are CSOs, the chief security officers of Walmart and
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
top 50 corporations.
Yes.
And you're not going to LinkedIn and be like, yo, this is me. You just spoke to me.
Yeah.
Put me on.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot,
I
shoot,
mean,
bang, bang.
I mean, it got so hilarious. This conversation I had today while I was trying to get a nap after my morning smoke.
That's a little
It got
better than
so
yesterday.
hilarious
I didn't work out till like
when he challenged me when I told him the voice the announcers that I had on my that I've had on my show,
we'll see.
and he said, "Well, I don't know who those guys are. Then you don't know sports."
They're like just custom.
So can I ask you something, Ryan, real quick?
Yes, you may.
Do they realize or not realize? Clearly, they don't realize. I already know the answers to the question or whatever. But do they not realize that that's like the highest speech word?
You already know the answer to that question.
So, how did you deal with it? Did you kind of tandem it out, or did you just walk away from it like dumbass?
Well, not only did I tell him some of the voices I've had on my show and have since met and spoken to, and the guy said to me, "You haven't had a championship voice on. Okay, then what do you call Tim Roy, voice of the Golden State Warriors, who, by the way, are the defending champions? What do you
And
call Wayne?
kick
What do
the
you call
Lakers'
Wayne
ass,
Larrabee?"
by the way. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear what you said, brother.
They're going to kick the Lakers' ass.
Oh, they're going to demoralize the Lakers, and I can't wait for it. But be that as it may, I dropped Tim Roy. I dropped Robert Ford, voice of the world champion Astros, and two-time Super Bowl voice Wayne Larrabee, who I met in person. And he goes, "You didn't meet those guys." I showed him a picture of myself and Wayne Larrabee at Butler University. Then I walked off.
I appreciate that. That's real clean, my brother.
Then I walked. I'm not gonna get into Charles can tell you how I operate. I'm not gonna get into a debate with a fool that thinks he knows my craft and he hasn't spent a day in it.
So, could I ask a question?
You may.
So, what if it's a person that's talking like myself, right? Where, you know what I mean, gaining each other's interest or whatever. Would you
Mm-hmm.
take the time to, hey, look, I understand your perspective of, how you look at sports. And you have no other choice but to kind of understand.
Yeah.
Not, disagree, but just the typical understanding if you don't know no better. Have you taught better when it comes down to an opportunity like that? Just curious.
I look at it this way. You and I are having a conversation.
Hmm.
That I can deal with.
Hmm.
We can exchange information. You can voice your opinion. I can voice mine. You can ask me questions. I ask you questions.
Hmm.
That's a conversation. That's something I'll have all day long.
Hmm.
What I had to deal with was a fucking troll.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yep. See you less. I got you. So you carried on about your day. That's
I
respect.
ca I laid on this couch next to me and fell out for 2 hours.
Yep. Sound like a state or federal employee to me, sir. But go ahead.
I laid on this couch and passed out after I dealt with this fool.
Have you ever thought about exercising that? Like, if you just had nothing to do, of like just if it appears to educate and let people know. Have you done that before?
I'll do better. What I plan to do this week is a baseball call of a game I can pick up on ESPN Plus, put a set together, and call the game. Because I did it for Charles during the World Series, and Charles gave me the suggestion you have to do that more often, especially for baseball,
Okay.
to get black boys interested in baseball.
Thank you. That's dope. I missed that episode. I'm sorry, but thank
Oh,
you.
there's more. I will have more. Trust me, I will have more.
What is your page, bro?
Snowman Multimedia.
Snowman Multimedia.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you see the juicy uh PJ's projects in your joint, I
I
ain't no
got you.
ratchet. I can be to the fullest, but you know.
And I got a present for Charles. You know that award-winning episode we did when I lived in LaPorte, Indiana, back in 2016? I now have the original recording because me, Charles, and Matt Granahan were on the phone for 3 hours talking about men's rights, and it was only supposed to be a 30-minute episode. I plan to post that very soon.
Unedited or edited?
Unedited and unscripted, baby.
Okay. Are you military?
Say again?
Are you military?
No, but I know
Oh.
many who are.
Okay. Same thing.
I know many who are.
Okay.
Where are you located, my friend?
I'm in Baltimore. You ain't heard the accent, but I'm from Baltimore. Right down the street from Officer Faulkner.
Oh, okay.
He arrested me like 32 times. It's like, no.
32 times. Why are you such a repeat offender? 32 times.
Yeah, 32 times I didn't understand, but you know, the 33rd time I understood what he was talking about.
You finally got the knock across your head on the 33rd trip.
Yeah. He told me stop driving Honda, so I run a Honda. You know, you never know.
Right. Right.
So, what's your opinion? Since we're conversing, what's your opinion on 2A?
On Tua?
2A, just the general thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question. Can you say it again?
My apologies. What is your opinion on 2A, the Second Amendment right?
Oh. Second Amendment that it should be enacted because we're living in crazy times right now.
Okay.
The only reason I'm not armed to the teeth yet, I haven't been presented a reason to, but I have the distinct feeling that may change. And the other biggest reason I'm not armed to the teeth, I married her.
Copy. I got you. Okay.
I
That's fair.
married her
Very fair.
because she does not like or appreciate it, and I said, baby, say no more. I'll just act like Popeye and say I'll keep law and order with me fisks.
Okay. I haven't had an opportunity to like really ask an open-minded individual
Yeah.
that question without I'm just gonna be honest, remorse of asking that question. You understand what I'm saying? Is
Yes, sir.
one or two different ways. If I don't want to take over Charles' live, but we're talking, we're chatting, I
Yeah.
would love other people's opinions in the chat and all that. And my only thing is I started out as a hobbyist.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what the Second Amendment right, and I knew how to plead the Fifth, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, all that, or whatever the case may be. But
Mm-hmm.
as I've come along, it came more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live in a area in regards to it is that type of time per se, but I've come from that area,
Mm-hmm.
and the people that I've moved around, my neighbors,
Yeah.
not black, white, Chinese, Jew, whatever, just anything or whatever. I moved in a cool area.
Mm-hmm.
I moved away from it. That's what I should have done, and that's what I did.
Right.
They are naive, and I can't take that away from them because they didn't grow up like I did.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me more. I'm not going to say edgy to the point is where it's though like, oh my gosh, I'm walking around with 37 guns. You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying or whatever.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I'm already born and raised to pay attention, to my surroundings and that matter or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So I'm curious to hear from a brother or sister that looks like me or not even look like me, but had the same background of kind of sort of what I'm hitting around with
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
their ideas of 2A. And my point of it is the fact that fault opposite, I call them C, excuse me, or whatever, but for the crowd officer fault. Um, we talked about, private school and just protecting our children,
Mm-hmm.
Columbine, and all
Mm-hmm.
those other different things, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But what are the procedures that maybe people who doesn't have my background may see and feel about 2A? Should it be okay, no guns for civilians and the cops are going to get all the bad guys, or just how people feel. I don't want to leave it or lay it out there as if, you know what I mean, that's what I think of, but just keeping it kind of open
Yeah.
for you or anyone else to kind of jump on to, you know what I mean, have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally get it. Like I said, for me personally, I'm not armed. And one of the reasons I'm not armed, I married her. And that is one thing I will always obey. As far as the schools go, I hate to say it, but I am not as in tune as I should be because
That's fair.
all my children are grown.
Mhm.
I mean, I have nieces and a nephew, and my youngest niece is 10, but my niece, my nephew, and my grandchildren do not live with me, so I'm not in tune with everything that's going on in the schools. I only learn from what my children and what my wife tell me.
Okay, that's fair. So could I paint a scenario for you?
Yeah.
So let's just say that not even grandkids. I'll say nieces and nephews and cousins and all that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think you can identify with that. Anybody can identify with that.
Yep.
You're living your life and you're doing what you're supposed to do for you and your life
Mhm.
and whoever's around you, right?
Mhm.
And you just happen to live in a super suburbs, right?
Mhm.
But a family member, is, I don't know if people will label it a barbecue or a cookout. You understand what I'm saying? But a family gathering,
Yeah.
and you hear a monstrosity of events and daily things that happens.
Mhm.
What you do in regards to suggestions, and if you saying that inkling of what you heard of your day-to-day living, how would you kind of sort of proceed? Would you go ahead and, well, I heard this and I'm gonna sell a house and get the fuck out of here? or it's a good neighborhood, and we could be a community. And if we see any inkling of the BS, we come together as a community and stop it from happening.
My first thinking is I'm taking my family and I'm going to beat it
Okay, that's fair. Why would you? Why is that your first option?
because I don't want my family hurt. Part one. Part two, it also is going to depend on A, how long I've lived in the community, B, who I know within the community, and C, are they really up for protecting their community? Any of that make sense?
Yes. Hmm.
The phrase that's been told to me, it's not what you know, it's who you know. In this situation, it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
In this situation, it's a combination of both because how do you know when let me throw this back at you, when you organize something
Mhm.
and you are ready to defend your community and everybody talks a good game, but they don't back it up?
They call posers.
Correct.
Hmm.
They're
Which is
called fucking posers. I mean, here's my boy Sherrod, American Ninja #1 and shit. Say what's up.
What's up, Sherrod?
I mean, in our class, we got people complaining about, like, yo, in this business, it's what they say, it's all about networking.
Mm-hmm.
But these idiots are not smart enough to be like, network. The more you network and the more people respect your hustle, the
Yeah.
more work you're going to get. I'm like, I'm not trying to kill the world. I need
Right.
these motherfuckers to still work. Just like when I said early in the podcast, I'm like, yo, you got to think of business that's going to be beneficial to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Why not get something together where you can actually go to private schools and give them armed quality security?
Yep.
Think about it.
Key word in your sentence being keywords: armed quality security.
Exactly.
Major freaking difference to just flying off at the hip.
just security. Like that doesn't help anything.
Now I'm gonna give it
I
to you
can
this cookie
attest to
jar.
it. Hmm.
And it goes back to what I said. A lot of people look at me, why you want to do security? Bitch, do you know what the fuck I've been doing for 20 plus years?
Apparently they don't because they didn't take the time to, I don't know, ask.
My man got the Wolverine jacket from Wolverine Origins. And it's like, we're asking people have the nerve to ask me, why would you do that? That's not a good business deal.
Mhm.
Like, bitch, don't you understand how the kids need protection?
Did you see what
And it
Blood
goes back to
Bowling
what else?
mentioned, Charles? You put
Hmm?
you posted I said, did you see what Blood Bowling mentioned? He was saying that I'm kind of skeptical about arming teachers, and
If
I
you want to be,
actually agree with that.
if you want to be honest, in Israel, they armed their teachers. They got armed guards and they got armed teachers.
Mm-hmm.
But at the
Which
same time,
is fair to their climate. You understand what I'm saying? But if you know you're dropping your son off, I pay for school for my children or whatnot. I would count, and I am super 2A, but like you would have to have some sort of training, like top
well,
tier training, in
they're
order.
not giving the teachers training, which is bullshit. Because if you're gonna have armed teachers, your teacher should be up to police officer standards.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to shooting,
Mhm.
but at the same time, people be like, well, in this country, why do you need a gun? Because other niggas got guns. Last time I
Basically.
checked, I don't like to be unarmed. I don't
Basically.
like to be unarmed. And I know this is not going to be a big subject, and I'm not going to get a big number of people listening. It's the fact of the matter is that people, especially black people, don't like to live in reality.
Ain't that the
We
truth?
We like to live in this hood shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I'm gonna do shit. I'm this, and I'm a triple OG, quadruple OG, and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, we're your OGs when your kids are hurt.
Exactly. Which
That's
is
all
why I
nothing but
answered
falsehood.
Biggs's question the way, which is why I answered Biggs's question the way that I answered it. My first inkling is take my family and beat it.
Mm-hmm. And that's fair.
Because
That's a fair.
because
Like, I'm sorry, see, and I'm gonna shut up after this. I promise. Like, I don't know you from a can of paint. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I just love to hear other people's opinions outside of what I know.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying or whatnot?
that's
And that,
called growth. When you can sit down and listen to another man's opinion and digest it and be like, you know what? Maybe your opinion ain't that bad.
And learn more about it.
Yeah, because
And
guess what?
learn more about it.
Before you use the gun, what can I do to get to alleviate this threat? And
Exactly.
when you look at guys in our class, Sharon will tell you, how long you been studying martial arts? 19, and you're like, what, 43? So it was 35? 36 in July. So that means you've been doing it for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the first thing your masters tell you? The ultimate martial art is to avoid
Avoid
conflict.
confrontation.
My wrestling coach, and then so is Big's wrestling coach, the legendary Mr.
Brown.
Larry O'Neill Brown, may he rest in paradise, peace, and power, will tell you the greatest reversal in the world is to never be put in the situation or the hold in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have to reverse shit if I'm not in that position in the
If
first
you're
place.
not in it. Exactly. I'm not reversing a goddamn thing if I'm not in it.
And if somebody would have told me that like 12 years ago, I would have been like, bro, you bugging. Like, no,
And
screaming.
and
I'm like, yo, you fucking tripping.
Well,
Like, fuck out of it. You see what I'm saying? That's what I would have said. But as I've matured, it's just like, okay, that makes sense. And this is coming from a place of, okay, I'm a responsible firearm owner. I have insurance, you understand, for everything, health, vehicles, home.
mm-hmm.
God forbid if I have to, you understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's just a factor of I like to have dialogue with people who is not just beyond it, but just preparing for situations if it
it's
appears to, you understand what I'm saying? Like if you have
and
to
shout
do
out
that.
to LAD and shout out to LAP SWAT One with the $10 support. Hold the line, Commander. As long as there's two people, there'll be war. Move in silence until checkmate. Facts.
Yeah,
And
Facts.
see,
yeah,
and,
Facts.
and see,
big fact.
but I gotta keep your shit up there a little bit longer. And see, here's the point that I tell people. Look, the reason why I want to put armed protection agents and armed security officers there is because guess what? One of the use of forces people forget is it's just your mere presence.
Mm-hmm.
If you see people who are dress right, dress as we say in the military,
Yeah.
look professional, and they at the front door, and you got two at the front door and two at the back, that's not a soft target. You're
No,
gonna be
not at
like,
all. Not at all.
and the one thing you learn when I had to read up on active shooters, right?
Mm-hmm.
99.9% of these motherfuckers are cowards.
Yes.
Which is true. So
Yeah.
They're looking
here's
for easy, soft targets.
yes, I
And
posted
see,
that earlier.
here's the craziness about it is that when you have people who are ready to protect your children with their lives, not too many people want to take that bet.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it. If we would have had trained professional people, even past Columbine, a lot of deaths would have been prevented.
Yes.
Which is true.
Ounce of prevent. What was it? Ounce of prevention is
Mm-hmm.
more than a pound of the cure.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Why would I fucking be able to go up to a school bang bang shoot him up. Because if you look at the footage, what did she do? She shot through the fucking at Nashville. She
Mhm.
shot through the fucking glass doors.
That's the
Yes.
extreme
Yeah.
threat right there. Like if I was chief, I'm not. I've never been police officer. Like, no military training. But if somebody radios in that someone shot through the front second door, that means it's a go. You understand what I'm saying or whatnot?
Mhm.
But how can you prepare for that? That's my point. And
How do you prepare for it?
hold on.
Here's how you prepare for it. You have people already there ready to go.
Yes.
So it's
It's like
usually
it's like, for
two
example,
resource
I'm gonna use the
officers.
football term, right?
Mhm.
Because we both diehard Ravens fans, right?
All day. You better. It's fat baby
If
heavy.
Lamar ain't got nobody downfield, what is Lamar gonna do?
Take off running.
And guess who's gonna catch him?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Not a goddamn body. But do
So
you know
okay.
how smart? But do you know how smart you have to be, and how quick with the intelligence you have to be to
Mhm.
know? Oh, I see goal line.
Right.
I see touchdown.
See, and Charles, you right in my wheelhouse because you mentioned Lamar Jackson, and I can mention another quarterback who wore number 8 that carried the same mentality. His name is Steve Young.
Oh yeah.
Another Ravens quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, we forget to talk about another. We forget to talk about Michael Vick before Michael Vick. We
Right.
forget to talk
Bro,
about Lamar versus Lamar
you know
before
who the first number
Lamar.
8 is? I'm sorry, since we
We
doing
forgot to
actual
talk
questions.
about we forgot to talk about another intelligent brother who was a dual threat quarterback before we even knew what a dual threat quarterback was.
Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham,
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was awesome.
Randall
So,
Cunningham.
but in a Ravens car moment,
another Ravens quarterback, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Trent
You know,
Dilfer, number 8.
you see the Trent Dilford.
Number
Yep.
8
He-
led us to our first Super Bowl.
2000 Super Bowl 35.
Thank you.
But
Super
guess
Bowl
what?
35.
See, a good leader is not going to pray for the army he wants. A
Nope.
good leader is gonna work with the army he's got.
Okay.
And build
Should I say
that
that
thing.
again for the niggas in the back who don't
Go ahead.
comprehend?
Come on, I ain't hear you. I was in the back. What you say?
See, a good leader is not going to pray for the army he wants. He's going to work with the army he has.
Okay.
And see, this is the point when I talk about why I want to take my business. Give me that goddamn cookie. There you go. Ah.
In the chat.
A good,
Written in
when
the
you
chat for
have,
you, Charles. Written in the chat for you.
oh yeah, when you got to remember and don't forget to support the snowman. He's trying to get the fuck out from where he is and get a
And
better
it's
life.
Better
I'm
believe
like,
Snowman
it, baby.
Multimedia. That's your page, right?
That's me. And we I did the ultimate. Charles talked about a reversal. Well, folks, you're talking to a black man that has performed the ultimate reversal from a deathbed and stage 4 pancreatic cancer to on the verge of turning 51, 6'5" and 245 pounds, baby.
this man beat cancer like it was a WrestleMania main event.
Dropped it with
For
a
all of
stone
you,
cold stunner.
support the snowman, man. This is all his joint right here. Support him. He trying to move his family out to greener pastures.
Indeed, we are.
Gotcha.
And
And I'm gonna tell you,
we're finding pieces because there's a truck my wife wants me to look at tomorrow, but we're trying to get to greener pastures and forget trying to get our 40 acres and a mule. We're trying to get 40 acres and a complex on that bitch.
and I
Man,
don't
go
blame
ahead.
you.
Talk your thing, brother.
We're trying
I
to
don't
get
blame
40. We're trying to get 40 acres and turn it into a complex.
I know that's right.
She
you.
gets
Exactly.
she gets her studio to make her gems. I get mine to raise hell. I build a couple places for my kids. Have a place where my grandkids can fly out and see us. And it all started a year ago in April when I had surgery to remove a cancerous tumor in which Duke University Cancer Center, here's the kicking ass, Duke University Cancer Center, November of 21, November 29th, looked my wife in the eye and said the tumor was inoperable.
They wrote you
Right?
off.
You should have seen Sharon's face when he heard that, boy. He was like, "What the fuck?"
They wrote you off, Mike.
That's not what the
Sharon, they wrote a black man off, and my wife wasn't having it.
and see. Here's the crazy part. The same way I look at all this violence in the world. And Sharon does not have a military or police background, do you? He's been a lifelong martial artist. He's taught teenagers. He's done security work. But here's the point. Sharon will tell you where there's a question, there has to be an answer.
Yep.
It's just how far do you want to get that question answered? And when people say, well, I don't believe that people should have guns, well, stupid. Criminals have guns by default.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I listen to politicians who do not have the extensive background that I do about firearms, but you're telling me that I don't need them? I'm supposed to believe the police are going to get there in time. I'm supposed to believe, matter of fact, Darren know who I'm talking about, the Padawan, my godson, who's there at home with my son. You know, he got pulled up by the Baltimore police when he came home, and he's a special police officer. Mm-hmm. And they said, and he was like, well, you got your gun on you. And he said, well, you know, you're going to get charged for this. And he told him, I don't think I will, sir. So he checked his credentials and he called his sergeant, and the sergeant was like, no, we can't do it. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, you're willing to go, like, what are you trying to do?
That ain't right, man. That's terrible. I'm sorry that he had to go through that. You know, like, honestly,
I'm glad he went through that, because guess what?
No,
because first of all, what happens if he didn't go through that and he didn't keep the right frame of mind?
Right.
Because I got the powers of arrest like you. I got the ability to take a life and save a life like you. Mm-hmm. But because I have a certain skin tone, you think that I'm up to no good. The fuck you mean?
I got pulled over, me, old lady, and baby girl. Charles know who I'm talking about. Whatever. And it was Howard County.
The Mrs. and the Princess.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You know you always give it up. You know you're that dude. But anyway.
Oh, tell the princess she owe me a big hug when I see her again.
Yeah, you boy, I need you home immediately.
I'm gonna tell you this real quick funny story. Like his daughter, she every time I come around, she wants to hang with the boys. She don't want to hang with Mama because she's like, y'all fun. And she was like, I want to go to sleep. I said, okay, baby girl, where you want to go to sleep? And she points up there, like up where? Your room? I said, okay, we could get Daddy and Mommy to take you to your room. I could walk you up there, but I'm gonna let Mommy and Daddy sit on the bed with you. But she was like, no, I want to sit up there. And she talking about the head of the top of the couch.
Right.
So far be it by me. She goes up there, climbs on my shoulders, lays down on the top of the couch, and she's behind my thick ass neck that doesn't exist. And she falls asleep. And Derek comes to me like, how the fuck you put her to sleep? I don't know. She's comfortable up there. Yeah. And he takes upstairs and lays her down. I was like, yeah, this is definitely your daughter, boy.
So that sounds so much like my grandchildren. When I met them, Jody and I took a trip to Indy from Terre Haute to see Carmen, my daughter.
Right back.
And I wanted to hug those kids, but Jody said, they're just meeting you for the first time. Take a step back and let them come to you. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Mm-hmm. So I sit on the couch and I fall asleep. 90 minutes later, I have the oldest one Anastasia on my left side. I got Fanny like right on top of my head, on top of the couch, and Gracie on my right side, and they just give me this look of, okay, we like you now. And they climbed all over me.
Yep.
And my oldest granddaughter is 13 now.
Man, when kids find comfort,
Oh yeah,
they express comfort like no other. Like that's one of the best feelings, I think.
it
Or
is.
whatever the case may be.
It's
So,
it's a one it's a wonderful feeling because I didn't know how they would take to me.
mhm,
Right, like a fish to water.
no questions.
Like a fish to water. I mean, I laid down for a nap for a few minutes, and the next thing I knew, I became a grandpapa.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, wow,
Hmm. And you haven't turned back since. And
damn
that
right, I
is
won't.
what I continue to. I am type 2 diabetic. But not you fought what you fought there. Or whatever the case may be. I choose what I choose, and you chose
Hmm.
what you chose. You
Hmm.
understand? Or whatnot. But we both have illnesses. Or
Yeah.
you had an illness. I have an illness. Or
Hmm.
whatever the case may be. So it's just like that part is like I hate to break it down to this point, but it's like a video game for the first time when Mario was small and then you
Hmm.
got big. Like that
Yep.
is oh my gosh, bro! I love when they just attach and they like you're everything. What are you supposed to do? But be everything.
You
Yeah.
know,
That
when
is
I met
dope.
when I met Dakota and Charles, you've seen pictures of me and Dakota, my son. The first time I met him and he brought Ferguson, his dog, I freaked out because I haven't seen a dog that size in a while. And I stood up and I stretched my arms out. So what does Fergie do? He walks up to me and gives me a hug. And Dakota does the same thing. And Jody wanted to take a picture of me and Dakota. Yeah, every time she snapped the picture, either Dakota or myself or both of us made a funny face.
Yeah. Unlike Darren's dog, every time I come to his house, he like, hey, can I lick your balls? Can I lick your balls? Shit. Like, goddamn.
Hold up,
And
though. My
Hold up.
dad,
Jody always says to me, "I swear, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear Dakota was yours biologically."
man,
And
Chuck.
I looked at Jody and she looked at me, and I'm like, "Whatever do you mean?" And she says, "Hello, have you met my son now?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." And Dakota walks
But
behind
it's
me.
called like, it's funny because when your family is not just what you
Mm,
biologically connected to, is what you make it.
mm,
Yep,
And it's
yep.
like, even with my godson and my actual son, my son wants to go to boxing and he's actually getting pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes it funny is that he was boxing grown men and beating them.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, he like, Daddy, I want to go to boxing. I said, hey, we got to see what your grades look like first.
So I
Man,
got
my
I got a
dad to
question for you,
me.
bro. I got
That
a
was
question for you.
yeah.
So you got what you're talking about, right? And just your homeboy that you never plan on blending with, whatever. You understand? And then when your homeboy blends, I'm I'm gonna give y'all a story down memory lane. My
Back down memory lane.
my mom don't like nobody in the house besides,
Mhm.
her husband, who won knock her socks off. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
besides that, moms, I'm about to get real with you. My moms don't give a fuck at all. She will put anybody out. I've been put out plenty of times. I had to build skin to say, "Ma, I've been put out plenty of better places." Like to make me feel good about myself, about being put out my mother house. Do you know Officer Fuck done took his duty belt off and will never get put out.
Mhm.
Everybody love Tammy, boy. Tammy be like, "You sure you gotta leave? You could, I get you,
I
I get you a
wasn't
pillow with
trying
them
to go
blankets."
down there. I was giving you your flowers of you never been put out of.
Speaking of flowers, I have a little present for Dr. Faulkner here. We get ready to go from the Chase Center in San Francisco. It's the second round matchup everybody's been looking for. Anthony
Uh-oh.
Davis will take the center jump against Kevon Looney. Lakers in gold, Warriors in black.
Oh shit!
And let's see if Steph can get the best of LeBron for one more series. Lakers
One
travel
more
left to
time.
right.
What's
Lakers
the
travel
line?
left to right as we see it, and as you folks are listening along with us, Stephen Curry has
That's
it.
a
He'll walk
professional
it
game.
across the timeline, and away we go.
You
Curry in the
know,
front court
I'll
leans
be like,
between the
you're
ring.
the only motherfucker whose play-by-play actually made me want to look at basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Reeves all the way. Tip, nope. Rebound, Draymond Green. That's Andrew Wiggins, I beg your pardon. Wiggins front court to the right. Wiggins unleashes a three. Splash! And the Warriors lead 3-0. So a turnover does not turn into points, and the Warriors take advantage. Davis has it outside right.
About that pump.
Guarded loosely by Looney. Out front, LeBron James. James pitches underneath to Reeves. Back out, Davis. Davis on the drive, right baseline, goes all the way in. Pitch out
We
right.
gotta give
Corner
you
out of
theme music.
bounds. Warriors will have it.
I thought you called the baseball game, but all right, brother.
Oh, I do.
We
I
gotta
do baseball and
give you theme
basketball,
music for this shit.
too.
What is it? One more time.
Here's Klay Thompson with a 15-footer right side. That is good. And the Warriors lead 5-0. A minute gone, first quarter.
Nobody's ever seen
Lakers
him
have
under
it
the mask,
moving
has
left to right. In the front court is Schroeder, and we get a foul out front.
So how do y'all excuse me when I say this to you, brother? You probably ain't never heard nobody say this to you like this. But how the fuck y'all niggas be capturing
Nobody. It's like I don't want to see them.
How do we what?
Hold up.
how do y'all niggas be so accurate off of what you see and regurgitate it? That's a
practice.
beautiful thing.
But you got to realize that it's his talent.
Corner Wiggins. Wiggins spins down the right baseline, backs up, dumps it underneath. It's tipped out of bounds by Davis. Warriors will keep it with 13 on the shot clock and 10:35 left in the opening period.
All right, so that's your regular rigmarole, or you
This
this
is my regular rhythm.
Yeah, that's his
If you
regular
get a chance, look up the name Jim Durham, who voiced the Chicago Bulls for years. Thompson has it in the right corner, 10 to shoot. Thompson with a fake on Reeves, backs in, blocking foul on Austin Reeves. 2 quick fouls against the Lakers.
So you one of them dudes that do the sandwich thing? Like, remember the dude that do like the commercials? Excuse me, or
Something
whatever.
like that.
But like you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But you do sports, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
The Lakers just turned it over as they try to get an outlet to LeBron James, and James unable to handle it. 5-2 Warriors, 10:19 left, opening quarter of play.
Hey,
Warriors
Darren, this is going to make you laugh.
extended right. They come and play to Thompson. Out front, Looney. Looney has it off to the right, dribble hand off to Thompson. Thompson leans over the dribble with a right-handed dribble, unleashes a three, rimming no, rebound LeBron James. And here come the Lakers left to right. James.
Can I ask an honest question?
Pull up
Hey,
three
Charles,
out front. Nope.
So have you ever been able to like constantly record and talk the way that you're talking?
Oh man, I did I drove my parents nuts when I would record.
No. What I'm saying is, in a professional level, have you been able to like you just reporting the game, right? That's what you got hard to do. You reporting the game, and then you go and you clock in to do that per se.
Yeah.
And are you nonstop reporting the game, or do they have you go nonstop and only use bits and pieces of what you're doing?
Depends on the situation. Here's Curry with a 20-footer from the right. Splash. Curry with his first field goal. Warriors go back up 5, 9-20 for the first.
I got to ask this question.
Yes.
And I'm going to make I'm gonna make Snowman laugh, and I'm gonna make Darren laugh at the same time.
No,
Tell
you ain't.
Darren if you make it to BlurCon, who you gonna dress up as if you make it to BlurCon this year?
Yo, I don't know you, but we about to fight because Charles made it that way. Go ahead. If you don't say the blue nigga name, Mega Man, we about to swear up, bro.
Oh.
It's even funnier than Mega Man.
I'm going to make a Price is Right type of entrance.
Go ahead. And you going to do Drew Barrymore or you going to do the
Fuck Drew.
whole
I'm
Bob?
going Bob Barker on that ass.
You going Bob
Three-piece
Barker?
suit and three-piece suit and everything.
Yo, time out, bro. You watch Price is Right. Yo.
Fucking
you
right.
Are my fucking friend forever. You don't understand, bro.
I already got the 6 games picked out that we're gonna play. I
You
already
like
got the 6 games. Wait. Hold up.
No.
Hold up.
I'm gonna overdo the conversation until I get it over with. Bro, you just said Bob Barker, aka Planko, bro. Like fuck
You goddamn
outta
right.
here, bro.
You goddamn right.
If he comes out with a Playco machine, I'm not gonna be any good for nobody.
Yo,
Oh, you better be, because you're gonna be announcing this shit.
I'm gonna be the main.
You're gonna be my Johnny O. Listen,
All
all I gotta do.
we got Bob Barker, Sherrod. Come
Wait a
on
minute.
now.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. All Charles needs to hear is this.
And your timing is impeccable, bro.
I swear to God, Darren knows me so good. You do know I got a bigger speaker now,
Yes.
and I'm gonna be rocking off at the Smokers Alley because everybody smoke weed, cigarettes, and cigars.
Right.
No,
You know
boy,
what?
you just
I'm
gonna
gonna be
use me
I'm gonna
to
be
be a
DJing,
ignorant.
and all you're gonna hear is
All right, well, so can you tell it?
And
The way
the
that
best
it's put
part,
it, so I'm gonna
guess who's gonna
use
hand me?
the nigga
Hey,
from the
Biggs.
PAs
Guess
to
who's gonna
go
hand me the
ahead
microphone?
and
Biggs.
say, don't hand me no microphone.
You already. Hey,
That's
Charles, you
fine.
already know the answer. Guess who's gonna hand me the microphone to start the show?
I'm
My
gonna take
wife
big.
is. My wife is.
This is just for you, Snowman.
Okay.
This is for you, Snowman. Listen.
Okay. Oh, brother, you ain't heard nothing yet. See, Charles, why you gonna make me go old school on you? Because I found something. Hold up.
Welcome back to our holiday special, Christmas on The Price is Right.
Let me find something.
How are the reindeer doing?
There you are. There it is. This is from '83. This is one of the Christmas episodes.
He about to fuck you up, don't say. He about to fuck you up. I'm just saying. And I used to watch Price is Right. Remember, I was down there.
Shit. We gonna do Price is Right
Remember,
trap
I was down there
music.
on Mario on
Yeah. This was my original. Charles, you know this because I've expressed this. This was my original dream job. Hosting the game show. The game show.
Was you going to do it for you or was you going to do it for your grandmother?
Say again?
Was you going to do it for you or was you going to do it for your grandmother?
No, that's for me.
Word?
Doing this shit for me.
Oh, why?
You gotta do it for you.
I'm doing this for me. I'm going to be 51 in July. I kicked pancreatic cancer in the ass. I'm in the process of getting all the money necessary, and I posted the link in the chat again of what we need to get to a better place. Man, this is for me. I was told by Duke Hospital I wasn't supposed to live. And they sent my wife crying back up here. Not in this world. Not in this motherfucker, you not.
That's 100, bro. That's love. Like, for real.
My wife fought for me. So I'm fighting for her. I'm fighting for her and my children and my grandchildren because my wife fought for my ass.
That's wow.
She drove us. She helped drive us up here from North Carolina 2 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when we had to leave because I got sick.
We're not gonna call it the Price is Right. We're gonna call it the Price is Lit.
Like a motherfucker.
Damn, though, bro.
but
You
but
went
but
through it. You
my
went through it.
my wife fought for me, and I had blood clots in my lungs in June of 21. A month later, I get the knuckle ball
I'll
through
tell
the
you,
knuckle
since
balls.
I've been doing podcasting for the last 2 years, and I've been involved in people's other podcasts, I'm gonna tell you, I've met some of the most extraordinary people, including, Angry Man, Snowman, BGS, Art New Style, Art of It More, and there's so many countless others who supported, and I've supported. This is the reason why I say support black male media.
Yes.
Anytime you got two guys who never met and have so much in common, this is
Mm-hmm.
therapy, man. Shout out to Black Ram 313. This is therapeutic, man. And it
Yeah,
truly is, because there's times Darren's married. There's times when him and his wife are not on the ups. Not saying they're not, but
man, that's any
reality.
relationship. Keep that shit going, nigga. Keep that shit
And
about.
there's times when Darren had to shake my hand and give me the biggest hug. I thought this motherfucker was about to belly suplex me, Greco-Roman style, the fight was. And he told me one time we were at his house, and he said him and his wife were going through it. And this is twice this happened.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he was at my house, and I gave him a cigar. He usually smokes, once in a while he smokes a cigarette. But I
Nigga,
gave
I
him a
smoke
cigar.
squares or cigs or whatever, whoever
He
Right.
smokes
listens to.
fugs. Let's say it at Baltimorean well. You smoke fugs, nigga.
Nah,
But
yo, because I keep getting canceled every time I get on somebody live and I talk about them and shit.
I
Like,
love
and
it.
it'd be like, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. I let him vent for 30 minutes, and I poured him a little shot of cognac in the crystal glass.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I told Darren? I looked him right in his eye. Nigga, you ain't leaving your wife. Shut the fuck up.
yo, and I argued this nigga. All right, I'll give y'all some even more big shit. And it ain't no cap. Man, I'm like, man, fuck out of there. You don't know nothing about no. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm feeling myself in my feeling. Man, he was like, okay, go ahead, keep talking. This boy gave me a body shot. I'm talking about a body shot that set my ass down, and that's why I'm on this podcast.
Boom. Boom. And I told him, I'm like, yo. I told him, I said, yo, you got
He
what
throwing
most
them
niggas
things.
want.
See, he
You
throw them
got
things, man.
you got what most niggas want. Yeah, your wife might have a mouth on her, but guess what? Does she do what you ask? Does she raise your daughter properly?
Mm.
Does she help around the house as much as she can?
Yep.
Yeah, you got 99% more than what most niggas got.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate, and I had to tell him, I said, appreciate what you got, what most men don't.
So true.
And it's funny because he sat down, and Darren's usually the most boisterous, action oriented guy. And he sat down and said, you know what, nigga, you right.
And
And
it's very hard for me
there's
to do that. It's
and then
very
he was
hard for
like,
me to do that.
nigga, damn. He said, you hit me harder than any body shot in the world. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, look, your wife gonna have some shit. This is what you do if you want your wife to shut up.
And he give me the 1, 2, 3 ABC, the whole man, or whatever the case may be.
And I,
Trust, man. I call him out. Y'all might call him officer, whatever y'all call him. Dude, you know what the fuck you talking about, man. You
and
know
I'm
what you
like,
talking about.
look, you, you're married to a wife, not a bitch. I appreciate that.
Every time, boy, I be ready to risk it all. and he be like, "Yo, you is bugging, but if you gonna risk it all, make sure you add me in the."
Yeah, because I'm
I'll
like
hold the
this.
curtains or something.
It
Like
ain't worth.
for
You ain't gonna find much. It's just like there's times when Darren was like, "My wife improved me." You improved her life too, nigga.
hmm
It's not a one way street.
And I
Yeah,
be
you know.
down to the bottom. I mean, when I say down to the bottom, I be down to the bottom, and he be like, "Yo, you is bugging, bro. Like, fuck up my face, like forcing me out the house sometimes. Like when I come down there, depending upon how I feel. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I asked, buddy, what's your name again? Cause I don't want to disrespect your name.
Snowman. The
Snowman.
snowman.
Yeah. I don't want to disrespect the snowman or none of that. But I'm talking about man, see hand in hand. You hear me? Like for real.
There's times when me and Darren put the gloves on just to get off some stress. And I'm like, I don't take it offensive, like, oh, I'm gonna go get
No,
the
yo,
gun
you
or I'm gonna
petty
beat
because
you.
you gonna bring up the fact that you like fucking He-Man and you know you let me get a couple punches
By
in.
the power of Grayskull.
Hold on. Since we gotta go there,
Go there.
it's not like I don't have this, but hold on.
But
I got hang.
By the power of Grayskull.
memories.
Well, hold up. I gotta shout out to my boy Artisan MC. Since everybody loves Thundercats, He-Man, and Bria Miles, we might as well bring them all three in.
Epic intro. Epic intro. Charles,
I
the
swear
voice
to
I'm gonna,
God.
Charles, the voice I'm going to play for you, you recognize because I've spoken about him already. But for Biggs, the voice you're about to hear is that of the late great Jim Durham, and he is the reason I got into broadcasting.
Go
in
ahead,
the first
run it,
place.
run it.
Just flashing the ball up the court.
Dennis Johnson
Let me
brings
find
it.
that.
Looks low for McHale. Dennis Johnson between the circles. Left side Seasting. 20-footer. Rimming no. Rebound. Loose ball foul. Robert Parrish over the back of Brad Sellers. Good job, Brad.
Bro,
He's
what's up?
he's the reason I got into this.
Guarded by Ainge. Right side
Mhm.
Jordan. Michael Jordan against Dennis Johnson. Double team. He's lost the dribble. A hook pass to Banks. Right baseline. Banks is surrounded and throws it out of bounds. Tried for a base.
This is 87 when they played the Boston Celtics in the first round.
Works it left against Sadeo. 3 shot clock at 12. Johnson is standing, dribble now to Ainge between the circles. Johnson has it back on the left wing over the top. Bird right back to Johnson. 20-footer left side. Rimming, no. Rebound, Banks had it. Loose ball foul on Boston's Larry Bird. Reached in on Gene Banks.
That voice
Man,
is the reason I got into
That's
this.
dope. That's dope. Like you
I,
really stick to it.
I'm
That's hard,
I'm
bro.
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. There's a lot of times when I didn't have enough subscribers or enough listeners.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when
That's hard.
Kevin Samuels passed away last year.
Yeah.
Kevin would always shout me out on his live streams. The
Mm-hmm.
funniest one he had, he's like, "Y'all talk about real men. Shit, there's one man I'm not gonna fight. We also fought that." And you had about 30 or 50 people from the Baltimore Police Department calling me. You know
Yep.
Kevin Samuels? I was like, yeah, I knew
Yeah.
Kevin for a minute. And he was like, man,
Charles
you see the
definitely
size
didn't
of that
call me for them
motherfucker?
episodes. Because
And it was funny because Kevin, and even when Kevin passed, Kevin gave me his final gift. Kevin gave me the biggest
Charles,
live stream I ever had. Hold on. He gave
well,
me the biggest live stream ever. when I had 800 to the highest, 800
Mhm.
live viewers on my live stream, and I maintained 650 when he
I remember
passed.
that.
Just
I
giving, and I
Yo,
was like, dude. And I didn't even know how many people were on there till Mr. Z pointed out, and BGS was on it as well. And he was like, dude, you doing
you
numbers.
that guy, bro. You that
Mhm.
guy.
And I'm
Oh,
humbled by that because Kevin always supported. There's so many people from the police department who saw me on the live stream, like, yo, you knew Kevin and the stuff you were in the car smoking a cigar, and they were like, yo, you knew Kevin. And I said, dude, Kevin was not against marriage. He was trying to tell y'all, yo,
Yeah.
in order in order for you to keep the black community going and flourishing, you need intact homes. But
Yes.
you have so many fucking silly chicks out there. Oh, he hate women. No. He's saying if you want the man you want, you gotta be what the man you want desires.
Mhm.
keep
Which is
talking.
fair, right?
That's
Right, you
very
are.
fair. Very fair.
I mean, if think about it. The chick I'm talking to, she rides bikes on average 30, 40, 50, 60 miles.
Yeah, but you already know
But
Jimmy
guess
Jam.
what?
Terry
I
Lewis
gotta
is
go
riding a
into the
bike.
weight room, but I gotta go into the weight room and maintain or build into what she desires.
Mhm.
Fair
Why?
is fair,
Because you
right?
want some pussy? I'm just saying though, because you
And
want
it's
some
not
pussy.
even just about wanting pussy. It's that I will tell a grown ass man, don't ask what you're not willing to be.
Right.
Mm. But they won't say shit about that, right?
No, they
Yeah,
They'll
won't.
say
but
we hate women.
so
But I'll tell but
you been
how many times I had on my show when I took a young brother, I guess we could call him young because we're in our
all right,
40s now, right, Darren?
yeah, come
You
on,
know,
and what?
and when I told the dude, he was
Tom,
like, well, I don't know if I should keep this girl. Wait a minute. What does she do? Well, she likes watching
them
anime with me. Well,
it's
does she
just
cook?
gonna
She cooks
be
all the time.
Tom,
Does she clean? All
I'm
the time.
tripping.
Does she help with the bills? All the time. She even play games with me. You know
It's
what me and the
still
brothers on the chat
it
said?
don't work.
We
It
said we'll
don't
catch
work.
a flight to your house and beat your ass if you leave her.
Mhm.
But they'll say we hate women. Huh. Y'all didn't hear that though.
Wait a minute.
But
The
what
first
y'all didn't hear. Before what y'all didn't hear is C breakdown, officer fault breakdown to a real nigga is what I'm
Mhm.
trying to
Yeah.
tell you. Like
Yeah.
for real. Excuse me, it is whatever on the channel, but
You know the
in
one
the
thing
end
I
of the day,
appreciate
it
about
be
Darren's
some
wife.
real shit.
I'm gonna give Darren his flowers. You know what I appreciate about him and his wife? It could be 20 fucking degrees. If they got tickets to see the Ravens play, guess who's right beside them?
All day, every day.
If there's a bill that needs to be paid, guess who's right beside them?
All
Mhm.
day, every day.
If there's a dance or a play for their daughter, guess who's right beside them?
All day, every day. But guess what though? It come with
But
yeah, I mean, and it's
but
dope.
guess what? If
It's
there's
dope,
something that he likes to do, if she likes to do, Darren's willing to do it for her because he knows the type of
and
woman.
it's a
There may
reciprocate,
be things
but
you
it's a
there may be
reciprocate.
things there may be things he doesn't want to do, but just to make sure his wife's happy because she went out of her way to make him happy, boom, he gonna do it. But that's the
Reciprocate.
part that people don't. It's got to be reciprocated, and that's the thing that a lot of dudes don't understand is that look, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for greatness, because even if I got
Thank you.
perfection, I can't grow after perfection.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
don't want to
can't.
be. If I got to learn every martial art in the world, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get on a fucking spaceship and I'm going to go out to space to learn some alien kung fu. Fuck that. Like, we're going to have to learn some shit. And see, here's the factor that I tell a lot of brothers. And I'm going to have
Mhm.
to revamp my stories of masculinity, because here's the part about masculinity people don't hear. One, a boy has to leave his house of comfort, and then when he's ready, the
Mm-hmm.
master will appear.
Yes.
So how many
Once,
people actually hold on? How many people have actually mentally conquered that, meaning whatever, fuck shit, and you doing whatever you supposed to be, and fuck shit, and it's just a bunch of fuck shit. What do you do?
You
You
But
keep.
gonna
here's what I
commit a
tell people.
crime and kill a nigga or something real quick
I'll
to
answer that.
be
You
amongst
keep
other
conquering
niggas? What?
because when Charles, you just said it about stepping out of your comfort zone.
Mm.
I've been out of my comfort zone for the last 5 years. Reason? Jody K.
Yeah.
Jody K.
Here it is, right? And you know what's funny? I have to stop you right there, Snowman.
Yeah.
One of my Padawans, which is Berkeley Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's listening. And I was in a relationship with his mom. I actually met him before I met his mom because
Yeah.
we were in the wrestling. I didn't know it was his mom until we started dating.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in a relationship. He's moving to Davenport, Iowa. Well, he's already in Iowa, but he's moving to Davenport. Go Hawkeyes. And he
He
had so many of
wrestled.
his mothers. He
He
wrestled,
wrestled.
Nice.
and Berkeley, who stayed in the basement.
Yeah.
And his everybody kept asking him, all his mom's friends, you couldn't find a nice black girl, and he's in a relationship with a white chick. Nobody ever said, "Are you happy?
Nope.
But
Does she
that's my
treat you
point.
well?
That's my
Does
point.
she does she treat you well? Does she add on value to your life? I don't
Okay.
give a fuck if she was green. Does she do what a woman's supposed to do for you?"
Which is true.
To
But
both
my
of
whole thing,
those, my answer is a resounding yes.
And
my
see, here's
my
the
whole point.
here's the problem.
Hold on, Charles. Hold on, Charles. Like, but what we do as the bottom line of me is, I said what I said. Do
No, say it
or
again. Not Baltimore, but what?
bottom line all day.
Butterm up. Butterm up.
Like for real, just keeping that shit a whole hundred. What the pussy be better? The pussy be, I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. I know this bitch treated me this type of way, or so on and so forth. When that pussy get to the niggas though, like, you see what I'm saying? Then what do niggas really do at the same time?
But you
Because
got to remember, hold on, Darren. I'm gonna tell you this one part. See, if you're a man who keeps himself up and has shit going for him, and you're still in good health,
You're talking
pussy,
to me out of all people, though, Charles. Me.
you talking to me, the modern day Ric Flair, nigga. But
No,
anyway,
all right, all right. Yo, I learned y'all niggas, yo,
hold on,
something.
hold on,
But
hold on,
go
hold
ahead.
on,
Nah, like,
hold
fuck
on, hold on,
out
hold on.
of here, bro.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
I'm the biggest nigga, the fat nigga, to teach
Woo!
everybody how to get pussy. I'm just
Woo!
saying. I'm keeping it.
But I'm gonna keep it funky, right? And I'm gonna keep it honest.
Mm.
Darn.
Mm.
And I don't know how close wifey is, but we're gonna keep it honest because if wifey didn't find you attractive, she wouldn't have said yes when you proposed.
Yeah, come
Look,
on. Let's go.
I'm gonna
All
keep it
day.
funky, monkey. So number one, if you're a man who does not have issues getting women, pussy is not the end all be all. It's not the
Mm-mm.
alpha and the omega.
Mm-mm.
See, you got to realize something. Does this woman add value to my life?
And what
Am I
do
lying,
you do
Gerard?
every single time? What do
Because
you do?
because first and foremost,
What do
look,
you do every single time when I be bugging? When I say be bugging, like, I'll
Bug.
be
do
very
you
polite when
really
I
want me
first
to
came
tell
on this
niggas
chat.
what I really say? This is what I
Oh.
be like doing. When you be throwing them blasts, I'm a surfboard that shit and be like, Kamehameha, nigga. And I'm gonna tell you,
All
look,
right.
the
Uh-huh.
dating world ain't what it used to be.
No.
See, you
It's
got growth, you got skin in the game.
Yeah.
See, the problem is with a lot of dudes, they
Mhm.
act like pussy is the end all be all. When you're used to getting that, you gotta come. You can honestly go to a chick and be like, "Well, what do you bring me? I got a nice smile and a fat ass and some titties." Nah, chick, you gotta come better than that.
Exactly.
What's your credit score looking like? What's your 401k? What future do you have for our kids? Matter of fact, how do you believe in raising our kids?
And more to the and to add a key point to that, do you believe in me and do you believe in what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, Thundercats. Is
Do
she a
you
oh?
do you believe in me and what I'm doing?
So
Exactly.
It's one of the
when
first things I will tell both of you, and Charles, I've already told you, one of the first things that Jody said to me when I met her and we got together, she said, "Baby, I've already done everything I wanted. I've already achieved everything I wanted to achieve. I want to see you chase your dreams and catch them." I looked at her and I said, "What?"
I know number 1 and number 81 didn't catch that.
Hold on,
Shit.
watch this.
Oh, hell no.
Hold on, watch this. See, and then she did everything, or y'all still together, right?
Yep.
And I identify with that. You did what I'm saying. Like from when you get that one and you don't let it go, is fire. Like I'm not saying fire like sex. It's just fire of
It's everything.
stimulation. Right, exactly. That's
Speaking
why I
of
exaggerated.
everything, Charles, I got a present for you.
What's that?
Can you hear it? I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
can
can
hear
hear
it.
it.
You can hear it?
I'm
No,
a
go play it. Play it. I can hear it.
Ravens defensive starters. At right tackle from Pittsburgh, number 98, Tony Siragusa.
Goose.
Oh,
Goose. Goose. Goose.
Let's fucking rock.
Man, he been Goose forever.
Texas
And
A&M.
he died a
You
Raven.
remember.
Like, fuck that ass.
There's been
Did
Sam Adams.
anybody watch that documentary that he said he was going to go to Oakland? And then he was like, okay, I'm going to see what I'm out here doing. And then they played Oakland. And he was like, yeah, bitch, you supposed to have saved 30,000 and walked off. I'm talking about an
Boom.
offensive lineman.
Walk completely off. Oh, here's the intro Charles is looking for as we get to the linebacking core of this 2001 team. Or this 2000 team, rather.
At right linebacker from Virginia, number 55, Jamie Sharper.
Oh shit, David Sharper. God damn.
They recorded.
Let me do the whole thing. Let me play the whole thing. This is Super Bowl 35 player introductions in the Ravens entirety.
And now, here are the Ravens defensive starters. At right tackle from Pittsburgh, number 98, Tony Siragusa.
Go!
At left tackle from Texas A&M, number 95, Sam Adams.
Ooh,
Big Sam Adams.
Big Sam Adams.
Big Sam Adams. You know he's on my Madden team, right?
No, but whoever is playing this is giving a dedication to Ozzy. Gotta be respected, bro.
From Wake Forest, 99, Michael McCrary.
Michael McCrary, god damn.
We want to see
From Wake Forest. Here's some more names for you.
At left cornerback from Miami, number 22, Dwayne Starks.
Wow.
He was kind of
I want to see that. I want to see that fucking.
At right cornerback from Arizona, number 21, Chris McAllister.
Chris McAllister, baby. Is he in the Hall of Fame yet?
No.
And strong safety from Penn State, number 20, Kim Herring.
Oh, him trying.
I know who is free safety.
Y'all know who the free safety is.
Fraud.
Free safety from Purdue, number 26, Rod Woodson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, think of how beautiful that is to take a Steelers legend and then make him a Ravens legend.
At right linebacker from Virginia, number 55, Jamie Sharper.
Jamie Sharper, geez.
The all ACC linebacking core.
Mm-hmm.
From Florida State, number 58, Peter Bulware.
Look at Bullware.
God dang.
That was a hell of a squad, boy.
At middle linebacker from Miami, number 52, Ray
Lewis.
Lewis. It's feeling hot in here. Hold up. Play that Bloods part again.
Just a minute.
Number 58,
There's-
Peter Bulware.
Keep it rolling. I got Peter Bulware getting introduced. And here comes Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis was flying full speed like PQ though, Charles.
52,
He really was.
Lewis.
But he was knocking shit loose.
That mean locking dick strings loose. Anytime.
I mean, against Bettis in the Titans ball. I can't think of your name right now. Or whatever the running back was, like Derrick Henry back in the day.
And the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens, Brian.
You talking about Jamal
Eddie
Lewis?
George.
We had him.
I'm talking about Eddie George and Ray Lewis.
You
That's the
talking about
prime of
Jerome Bettis
football.
when he stopped Jerome Bettis in his tracks. God damn.
Yeah, I know that was a highlight, but Jerome Bettis was a whole dog, bro. That nigga was the 22 coming around the corner that take you from East Baltimore to West Baltimore, bro.
He took you
Like,
to
bro,
my
come
down
on,
the
bro.
mall. God damn.
Speaking of intros, and speaking of legends,
Jerome Bettis
let's go back to Super Bowl 23.
or Eddie George.
Recognize any of these names? This is when the Super Bowl was fun to watch. And not just because of the team, but because of the presentation on the
I
television.
hate that card, bro. I hate that card.
Here you go, Charles.
Introducing the 49ers starting offensive unit from
Mhm.
Delaware State, wide receiver, number 82, Pro Bowler John Taylor.
That's tight end.
The most underrated receiver ever. Hey, Charles, here's a name for you recognize.
Ricky Waters.
Pro Bowler John. Introducing the 49ers starting offensive unit from Delaware State, wide receiver, number 82, Pro Bowler John Taylor.
Listen, Jerry Rice. Another Taylor.
Auburn, left tackle, number 74, Steve Wallace.
The wide receiver.
Hey, here comes an underrated offensive lineman for you right here.
Left guard, number 61, Jesse Sapolo.
Wow.
I don't know who he is.
You forgot I had these.
From UCLA, center, number 51, Randy Cross.
But that's when Dallas came back, though, bro. Dallas came back and squadded up.
Number 60
All right,
from
hey.
North Carolina.
I bet you ain't got that.
Number 86, John Frank.
The next one is a name everybody will recognize.
Well, Montana.
From Mississippi Valley State, wide receiver, number 80, Pro Bowler Jerry Rice.
Speaking of recognizable names.
Oh, no. From Notre Dame, two-time Super Bowl MVP, quarterback number 16, Joe Montana.
Mm-hmm.
From Nebraska, running back number 44, Tom Rathman.
Is that you guys, or that's what you was inspired by? Yep.
And from Nebraska, running back number 33, Pro Bowler Roger Craig.
Who should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way, Mr. Roger Craig. But how's that for a stroll down memory lane?
Yeah, but that's old school. That's techno bowl.
That's old school, baby.
Mm-hmm.
How we live.
Yeah, them good times right there.
That's how we live, baby.
Mm-hmm. What about you got not Kirk Cousins. I can't think it was warm on over Vikings and Randy Moss. Lord have mercy, that was a problem. I want to see footage of that.
Of what? Randy
That
Moss?
draft when Warren Moon was already the quarterback, and then it was
Moon to Moss.
it wasn't Shannon Sharp. It was I can't think of his name, but he was a badass wide receiver. He
Sterling
was
Sharp.
Sterling Sharp, and he played for Minnesota, Green Bay. He was down there with Buttons, Antonio Freeman. Before it was Brett Favre. These was like developed people.
Yep.
And then Favre came in a picture and start
and was just playing
Oh
and
my
was just playing crazy.
Yo,
And I loved it.
throwing dogs. Yo, he was throwing dogs wide open. That's what became a Shannon Sharp, a Todd Heap,
Todd Heap.
Dirk Mason, motherfucking and I'm not just saying that from a Ravens fan. Before they was even a Raven. You understand what I'm saying? Like little receivers. We wasn't even established. We had
I got
the
a real
Cleveland Browns,
present.
bro.
I got a real present for y'all. Speaking of Brett Favre. Hold on. There it is.
He was hurting before the catch.
1992.
Sharp is on the sideline. Can't help him there. So with their best receiver out of the game from the 30.
Man, Favre had everybody.
The fellow who caught
I'll be right back, fellas.
The fellow who caught Brett Favre's first Brett Favre's first game winner. His name is Kittrick Taylor, and he happens to be a very good friend of mine with a great podcast.
Right
on my show. Number 85 out of Washington State.
That's dope. That's what's up.
I had so much fun talking. I'm going to have him back on my show for an extended interview next week with the draft being done and all, but I'm going to have him on my show and just run with it. We're going to have so much fun.
If niggas want to talk about football, hell yeah, boy. White man, black man, Chinese man. Boy,
he'll talk football. Trust me, he'll talk football. Because when I had him on, I led with that clip of his game-winning touchdown catch. Jim Lampley was on the call for NBC.
Who was the Panthers quarterback that got Greg Olsen that looked like a linebacker?
Cam Newton.
Oh, do you remember that though?
Man, please. Do I remember Cam Newton? I remember ones before him that took a lot of hits. I mentioned one earlier tonight, Steve Young.
Don't. Tennessee Titans.
Steve McNair.
Tennessee
McNair out of
the original black quarterback of that uniform was Warren Moon, Houston Oilers.
That's before they moved.
Yeah, boy, I know football. We want to talk football. I know football.
Bring it
Oh,
on.
yeah, I know. I love football. Remember
Who's
Lawrence
your Who's your team?
Taylor?
Who's your team?
Back in the day, I had to go Buffalo or I had to go Washington Redskins. Like for Buffalo lost all of those Super Bowls. The Redskins with Daryl Green, this nigga was like
You
5'9".
say that team again. You said Washington Redskins, right?
Yes.
Listen carefully.
Yep. Come on. We can go ahead and cut it short if you want to. Mm-hmm. Sean Taylor, Daryl Green. Their toughest components was the New York Giants when the Barber brothers got there. Lawrence Taylor, Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly.
Thurman
Which,
Thomas. Oh boy.
come on, boy. You cannot tell me nothing about no football.
Thermal Thomas out of Oklahoma State.
Thurman Thomas, to be correct.
That's what I said. Thurman Thomas.
I thought you said Thermal Thomas.
Oh, that was Chris Berman's nickname for him because he was always hot. He was always warm when he ran the ball. Thurman Thomas. Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Don Beebe, James Lofton.
Oh, you talking, boy. You talking football now.
And I thought you would love this song.
Yeah.
I'm going back down memory lane again, Charles.
Come on, go one more. Go one more. I know you got the Jets fight, son. Jets always had a fight.
What is this you playing? What the hell?
No. I'm just honest. Like football wise, like we didn't have a team back then.
See, you mentioned the old Buffalo Bills, the K-Gun era. Kelly, Lofton, Don Beebe, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, Kenneth Davis, their backup, Carwell Gardner, their fullback, Jamie
I'm talking
Mueller.
about after that when it was Andre Rising down in
Atlanta.
It was Jamal Anderson or whatever.
Oh, the Dirty Birds.
Yeah, come on, boy. You talking
Dirty
football?
Birds.
Ooh, boy, I go back a little bit. I love football. You can't tell me nothing about football.
Okay. Let me throw a pop quiz at you then. Who was their quarterback when they went to the Super Bowl as the Dirty Birds?
The Atlanta Falcons?
Yes.
That was Jamal Anderson. It was Andre.
He was a running back.
Yeah. Andre Rising was gone.
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback, I don't know.
Chris Chandler.
Chris Chandler. Coach somewhere.
And the coach was Dan Reeves.
I know Dan Reeves. He came from Buffalo. But Chris Anderson, the quarterback, is still somewhere in the league a little bit. Somewhere. Coaching something, a position. Here.
Oh man. This is
You're like Sam Cassell. Chris Anderson is like the Sam Cassell of what Sam Cassell is of basketball, but Chris Anderson.
Yeah.
Cut me off from
this is for Charles. This is for Charles, and I think he knows the answer to this. Who was the last Ravens running back to eclipse 2,000 yards?
Jamal Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy.
That's too easy.
Jamal Lewis, you had to have your whole team tackle that motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how about this? Since I'm talking to some football minds, who was the last 2,000-yard rusher to win the Super Bowl?
That is Chicago.
Wrong.
No?
Not Mr. Broncos.
Terrell Davis?
Terrell Davis, 1998.
I thought.
I know.
So who reckon
Not Terrell Davis. I told you it was the Broncos.
Yep.
No, it was
Terrell
Chi-Town
Davis.
though. What was Pretty? He was
Because
Pretty
guess who
something.
he had on his team during that?
Oh
He
shit.
had he
Something.
had another Ravens legend, Shannon Sharp.
Nah,
Shannon Sharp.
even when
Speaking of Shannon,
Baltimore was the Jets.
speaking of
he
Shannon
put-
Sharp, let me find another clip here. Do I have it?
Okay, so who was a part of Chicago Bears?
Walter
William
Payton.
Thank you.
Walter
Sweet
Payton
baby.
is who you're thinking of.
Yeah. Now, who is? I get that his record has been broken, but I'm talking about someone who runs the fucking ball.
Okay. Who?
Who is your greatest running back?
I'll give you 5 right now. Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, Thurman Thomas, Barry Sanders, and Roger Craig.
So y'all said Sweet Pea, Walter Payton, all that. Like, come on, bro. That was.
I grew up in Chicago. I've seen Walter Payton. I have nothing against Walter Payton. He's always going to be one of my favorites and one of the classics. It's sad that Mike Ditka denied him a Super Bowl touchdown in Super Bowl 20.
Yeah, I care, but I don't give a fuck about stats. I'm talking about if I had to pick a running back out of everybody,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Who would you pick?
I'm picking Walter Payton.
I got a name for you guys. Anybody remember the name Natron Means?
I am picking Walter Payton over Natron Means. You
I'm
talking about
just
San
I'm just asking.
Diego?
I'm
Chargers.
talking about.
That's who you're talking about. Like San Diego Chargers.
Yes, that's
Yes.
exactly who I'm talking about.
Come on, bro.
Natron
Walter
Means.
Payton ran the football way better than that.
Speaking of plays, Charles remembers this one from a few years ago when one of my favorite players currently went beast mode against New Orleans.
Marshawn Lynch.
Garoppolo fires. It is caught. Still on his feet is Kittle with a big play and the stiff arm. George Kittle. Flags fly. He's down to the 30.
Kittle.
George the Animal Kittle.
Over Mark Andrews.
Well, yeah. For the simplest of reasons.
Remove the Super Bowls and let's talk about football.
I just did.
Nah, I don't know.
Who's your favorite tight end of all time?
My favorite tight end is going to have to be Mercedes Lewis. It's going to have to be Shay. I might have to take Shannon. I love the fucking tight end. Antonio Gates.
Shay. You got
Antonio
you
Gates.
got Tony Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to go current Raven.
Well,
as a matter of fact, I'm gonna be a little biased.
Oh my god!
But he doesn't get the fucking praise that he should have.
Mark Andrews.
Of course, Mark Andrews, man. And then we forget about the legendary Dennis Pitta.
No,
Dennis Pitta, Todd Heap.
Todd fucking Heap. That's
three
my
positions. You're going to get some legends out of the Ravens.
You know what?
Got about 3 or 4 positions you're going to get legends out of.
Yeah.
You want to get a legendary tight end. You want to get a legendary linebacker. And you damn sure going to get a legendary corner.
Ozzie Newsome.
You know what? I presented Charles one time with an impossible choice. I took a legendary Raven against a legendary 49er, and we're talking the position of cornerback.
Come on. Cornerback. You said cornerback, right?
Well, let me say defensive secondary, because the two I have in mind played both cornerback and safety.
We're removing Deion Sanders.
Rod Woodson or Ronnie Lott?
Lott.
All
day.
Ronnie Lott if he wanted to injure people, but if he wanted to score,
Ronnie Lott
Rod Woodson.
Special teams, bro.
Oh,
he played special
Rod
teams.
Woodson.
Give me that.
But
Give me
guess
that Ray
what?
Lewis block again.
I'm gonna be fair with you. I'm gonna be fair with you, right?
Ronnie plays special teams.
I'm gonna be fair with you because Ronnie Lott will knock the numbers off your jersey.
Yep.
But Rod Woodson will change the course of a game.
I take Ronnie all day. I swear.
And let me tell you why.
They both had their.
I'm
They
gonna tell
both had
you
their low
why.
point.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because when he came to the fucking Ravens, right, and he's already had a legendary career as a corner.
With the
when they
Pittsburgh
made him
Steelers.
a fucking free safety, he still had hitting power, and he was catching interceptions for fucking like. So when you talking about like
If we
3/4 of the
talking
earth
about
is covered at that
versus
time.
prime,
At that time, 3/4 of the earth was covered by water.
The other was
1/4 of the earth was covered by fucking Rod Woodson.
By Rod Woodson. Yes.
Dion actually captured dog.
You know something?
What Ronnie Lott?
There's one receiver of record that outran Deion Sanders in a game.
So
And
who
y'all
went
would be
hit up with Ronnie
surprised.
Lott?
No. Listen again. There's one receiver of record that outran Deion Sanders, even though they started the same place.
Yeah, cool.
You know who that receiver was?
Jerry Rice.
John Taylor.
John Taylor, Jerry Rice. Damn, you motherfucker. You is good.
John Taylor. 97-yard touchdown, 1991 against Atlanta at Fulton County Stadium. At Fulton County Stadium.
Yeah, but come on record and say that?
Huh?
Has Leon ever came on record and said that? I'm just curious.
I have the footage.
I know.
I have the game itself.
I know. But
because Jim Nance called that game for CBS.
Has he ever
Yes.
came out and you know how interviewers be.
Come
interviewers
on,
be like, yeah.
Listen, I have the footage. I have the footage.
Man, send it to me. 443-992-1244. I would love to have that. Clip it. Oh, that is good football.
No problem.
That's good. That's good football. That's why I came in. That's why I was on Washington Redskins and you know, is yourself.
Can I ask this one question? Who was the one black quarterback who won the fucking Super Bowl for the Redskins?
Doug Williams.
Why isn't Doug Williams respected in Madden?
Because it's Madden.
And he was the first black quarterback.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing about, I got to give my Dougie.
He was 6 feet.
Doug was actually killing that game. And it goes back to when I look at athletics for blacks, you gotta be exceptional. I mean, super good. Because I look at it like Lamar. How many times did they say Lamar was just a running back, but he had more passing touchdowns than anybody in the league when he was the unanimous MVP?
2019.
And remember, he didn't have. Look who he has now. Odell Beckham, ODB, Mark Andrews, Tay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. And that's just the offense. Y'all forgot that they just got a rookie from the third round?
Yeah.
Who's on defense, who's 6'7" with long arms. Then they have their I gotta laugh at this. Their second round pick, which was who? Who was the Ravens' second round pick?
Trey Flowers.
No. He was the first. The second round pick. Who do we got for linebacker?
I take PQ over anything that's coming out.
Who's the other linebacker we got?
Yeah, I ain't even missing no names. Because I already know what you're talking about.
Because guess what? That's how genius the GM was. oh, we'll give you a second round pick, but we're gonna get that motherfucker from the Bears, and he
Mhm.
revamped our defense. You
Roquan
already
Smith.
got, and then I mean, look at it. You
Is that
already
who you
got
think?
Roquan old as shit though.
Charles, is that who you thinking of? Roquan Smith?
Roquan.
It's
And I
old,
mean,
bro.
you still got all pro Marlowe on corner. Remember, this whole season, not one touchdown was scored against him.
Not one.
And we are going to get flags. No touchdowns were scored on them, but we had laundry on the field.
But that's because they had to make it so, not because it was so.
Yeah, it's a different Doug, bro. You can go ahead and be clear for laundry, get paid for it,
Mm-hmm.
or you're a whole Doug and you get paid. Pac-Man, not Pac-Man, but Juice Man and all them niggas, yeah, they all alright because they have the experience. But I want somebody that can go ahead, no homo, switch their hips, and you see what I'm saying? Like, be able to stick a nigga from, if it's a 7-yard route,
Let me
I want somebody that can go ahead and stick a motherfucker from 3 and out.
answer D. Scott's question. No, John Taylor spent his entire 10-year career with the 49ers. The last year he played was 1995.
Yeah, he got the Super Bowls and got out.
3 of them.
And went out on fucking Western Special at point blank perk.
Mm-hmm.
He was a receiver. He was a dud. And I ain't hear nothing about John Taylor at it. Like,
You know what the best part about John Taylor was? He started as a punt returner.
he was speed. But remember, it was Keyshawn Johnson's and the Junior Seals, and I'm talking about like the Doug of the sport. Now we got fast motherfuckers like Tyreek, and Tyreek is smaller than
How y'all doing, folks?
John Taylor.
I'm about
Jack Mason.
to end the stream. My phone's
Okay.
died, and
All right,
I want to carry this shit on the next live stream. So Snowman and Darren, please be there because we're gonna continue this football discussion next time I go live.
You got it.
bro.
You got it.
And we out.
We out.